Another one. I'm getting to the end of all of this. Um, I've just had a session on Beat Saber on the Oculus Quest. I'll come to that. Come to that portion of my gaming history at some point in the future. But today I'm going to talk about something completely different. I'm going to go way back in time to the early 2000s. Pokemon, specifically Pokemon Red. That was the one I had on the Game Boy. I'm not even going to say what Pokemon is because you all know. If you're watching this, you know. So, but yeah, we the aim in Pokemon Red was to complete my Pokedex. My sister had Pokemon Blue. We came close, but eventually, me and one of my friends from sixth form, we agreed that we would actually try and finish the game. He had Blue, I had Red. So, and we planned it carefully. There's certain you can only get 1 out of 3 of. I think it was the Eevee evolutions and the starter Pokemon. So we made sure that someone else had a previous game where we could give one of the others Pokemon to each other, and we did eventually complete our Pokedex and got all 150. With a very underwhelming ending, but yeah, we did do it. We did finish the Pokedex of the 150, and from there, well, we were too old to get into the next stuff, Gen 2. I mean, I lost interest in the TV series after Ash put Charizard in against Charmander and Pikachu, I believe it was, or whoever it was in the TV series, and I was thinking the whole time, you had Cloyster, you had Tauros, you had Mark, you had Pidgeotto. Why didn't you put that in? I mean, I know Pidgeotto would have got fried against Pikachu later on in that fight, but he had options. He didn't have to go with Charizard, and that's what annoyed me so much. Muck was right there. You know, you even used Muck to beat Bellsprout in the TV series. How did you not think of this, Ash? So, yeah, after that, I just lost interest. That plot point in Pokemon has been bugging me for years. Why did he go with Charizard when Muck was right there? You know, ridiculous. Yeah, talk about utilising the. I mean, they encourage you to go through all your Pokemon, and my God, you just sideline Muck for sleepy Charizard. That, like I said, annoyed me for years, that plot point. But we're not talking. But I'm now need to move on to a little revival in gaming. A certain thing that happened in 2016, Pokemon Go. And since it came out, I wasn't really aware of it at first, but when it came out, I downloaded it. And if you remember, in 2016, it was big news. I was living in Romsey at the time, and I downloaded it. I went out and I searched around, and my neighbour Jordan, he came along with me, and one of his friends as well. And so it was, yeah, Jordan's actually doing really well right now on Twitch. He's got quite a following in a Discord server. So yeah, he's gone on to bigger things. So I'm really happy for him. I watched him play Fall Guys once. That was good fun. Yeah. I was going to say. Yeah, so yeah, Pokemon Go became my thing, and this is what I now need to get to learn a bit more about the further generations. And the game didn't lose interest; it continued to be amazing. But what was great about it was the certain spots where there were lots on offer. People told me that a place called Calshot was great for Pokemon fighting, and yeah, it certainly was. I was working one Saturday. Brought in for an event, and we finished in the afternoon. So I drove down from Romsey to Calshot. Got that, and I remember there was like lore modules around some of the spinny blue things, and and all of us just sat around there to try and get what we could. Somebody suddenly shouted. There was like 15 of us, and suddenly someone shouted out "Scyther," and all of us just jumped on our phone as soon as we heard that. That was a great memory of that. Yeah, that was a good time. I heard things about Boscombe Pier having good options as well. So I had to stop up at Hengistbury Head on the way, just outside Christchurch, outside sort of on that Bournemouth coastline at Hengistbury Head. Really great place. I went there, and the Pokemon there were unbelievable. It was like Cow Shop times 3. It was unbelievable how much you could get there. And then I remember one time I visited again years later, and I just saw this little boy running around and going, "There are so many Pokemon!" It was like, yeah, oh yeah, that's why everyone's there. There was also Gosport High Street near Portsmouth. That had an unusually huge amount of variety there, what you could catch, and it just became a thing. Even in London, you could you'd see big crowds of people hanging around places, and you're like, and to most people, like, why are they all hanging around there? I was like, oh, because there's a Pokemon raid. Now, raid is where you have to team up and take down something big in order to have a chance to catch it. You need many people to do so, and my first experience for raid came when I was visiting friends up in London. We were on our way to see the film. The Christopher Nolan war film, Dunkirk, I think it was, or I think that's what the name of it. But on the way, me and two friends, I said, "Oh, can we go by this way?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And here we are, and here I was just entering the battle, and apparently there were 9 other people in the battle. So I told them that, and we had to look around. I could see who a couple of them were, and one of my friends, he said, "Oh, it's like that film Nerve," and it kind of was actually. I mean, Nerve came out at just the Emma Roberts, Dave Franco film. That came out at just the right time. That was a good film. That was it was good fun, and yeah, it was sort of like that, the whole online phone in public thing, gaming public. That was what it was, and yeah, that became a thing. And 2017 became the summer of Pokemon Go raiding. Shortly after that, I believe. In fact, I think in the next year, I think trading became a thing. So you could team up with, you could get people's accounts and swap your Pokemon around, and yeah, you could do that. And I continued playing Pokemon Go for a long, long time. Then, of course, 2020 happened, and I already talked about how I got into Discord servers with racing games. I sort of stopped Pokemon Go after that, just because I just sort of lost interest. I briefly got back into it, just to help out a friend. Because he needed a bit of he needed help with his completing his Pokédex, so I helped him out with that. And yeah, then when I was abroad in South Korea, I had tons of students want to do trades with me between classes, and I ended up putting up my gaming code up on my classroom wall so they could all see who I was, so they could all just add me there. So, yeah, they like that. So, yeah, that was great fun. Yeah, students loved me for that, and yeah, so yeah, and yeah, what else? And yeah, I just got out, and it got me out. It got me out of the house a lot. Here I was on my phone, just looking for things, and met some amazing people along the way, and yeah, it was great. It was a great fun time. Would I ever get back into it? No, probably not. But I'll talk a little bit about another game, Ingress, made by the same people. That was about just making triangle force fields so you could get more blue or green. That involved travelling around, getting your force fields up, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a bit more than Pokemon Go after a while, because Pokemon Go just gradually became too overcomplicated, whereas Ingress became less complicated the more you played it, the more you understood it. Yeah, I liked Ingress a lot. That's a game I'd consider getting back into. I don't know if it's even still around now, but yeah, that was a great game, Ingress, on your phone, and I'll consider going back to that. So that'll do it for that chapter in my gaming history. I wonder what's next. I think. I think the Quest 2 is next. There we are. So I'll talk about that next time. And that started in South Korea, so that's something big I'm going to talk about on the next occasion, because some of the best games I've ever played have been on that system. So thank you very much for watching. Look out for Quest 2 next time. And I'm coming very close to the end now. I think only 3 left. 3 more videos left. So, yeah. Wow, I can't believe how far I've got into this. Thank you all for those who watch. I'm surprised. I get into double figures on my view count. So, yeah. But thank you very much. And I'll do Quest 2 next time. Thanks. Bye bye.